Hello, my fellow nerds. Today is Monday. I hope y'all had a great weekend. I was in San Antonio all weekend for Bailey's softball tournament, and I tell you what, it wore me out. I just, could not get out of bed today. It's been kind of a rough day, and I'll talk more about that later. But if you're new to my podcast, hello. How are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about, first, this is the Nerd in Texas podcast, and my name is Chanel. I am your hostess. Nice to meet you. I wish I could, give you a hug, shake your hand, something like that. Maybe a high five.
High five.
Yeah. I tell people that this is a tiny podcast with a big heart. This podcast is about movies, TV shows, books, video games, and anything you might consider nerdy. So, with that being said, I have a little guest.
My name's Lily, and you forgot to mention something.
What?
Go to nerdintexas.com.
Oh, yes. Go to my website, thenerdintexas.com. I now have a willow link, where it's a clickable link to all of my links. Instead of, because if you get on Instagram, you can't list all of your links, so you just click this one link, and it sends you to all of them. So I'm going to be putting that into my podcast description, and you guys can check it out and check out all my socials and website and Ko-fi page and all that fun stuff. But here's Lily again.
I want to say, I want to say something while we were gone. So
in San Antonio?
In San Antonio, sorry. I was about to say Houston. I was like, wait, what? While we were gone, we went to the candy store and we got a pound of candy.
Yeah, a lot of candy.
And then whenever my sister was doing her softball tournament, for dinner we were getting Whataburger, and I look over and there's a blue truck that says Kool-Aid Man, and it's Kool-Aid
Wait,
Man.
it was a car with a a Cadillac.
And it just had Kool-Aid all over, Kool-Aid Man all over the place, and it was like, oh yeah!
You didn't have to do it that loud, but it said, oh yeah, all over it. And it had the Kool-Aid Man all over it. It was like a teal car, and they all thought that was just the coolest thing ever.
What are you talking about today?
I'm about to tell you in a minute, but whatever platform you are listening to me on, please follow, subscribe to my podcast. It makes a world of a difference. Like I said, this podcast is totally out late today. I wanted to do a YouTube video of me recording my podcast, but I just could not get it together enough. I told you, it's a rough day. I had a hard time getting out of bed. Bailey had to be like, Mom,
get up.
Get up. Yeah. So,
I had to plop on my mom and go, get up.
This also is a last minute podcast topic because Bailey was supposed to do a podcast with me about anime, her top 5 favorite anime. But she ditched me and went to her friend's house instead, which is totally fine.
Don't watch anime. It's gross.
Stop.
There's a bunch of kissing in it.
I love how she says, it's gross. There's a bunch of kissing in it.
I'm scared to say one word.
So before I get on to my topic, I'm going to be streaming later tonight on Twitch and playing Fortnite because tomorrow is the long-awaited update, and it'll be the start of Season 6. So Season 5 will be over, and now it's going to be Season 6. And even though there's blogs and stuff out there about Season 6 leaks, it's just the same stuff that we already know. It's everything we already know in the Fortnite community, and it just repeated itself over and over again without actually giving you to the links. So I'm scrolling and I'm like, okay, well, where's the leak? What the heck? And it just kept saying I was just like, okay, then this is clickbait. Never mind. It was all clickbait. I could not find anything. So
What?
I violated the podcast rule. I feel like I need to put $1 every time I accidentally do that. Every time I accidentally put my phone on silent and I break the podcast rule.
I have an idea.
Huh.
Every single time you do that, your kids get to poke you in the nose.
No, don't poke my nose.
Can I say something?
Hold on. So with the new season of Fortnite coming out tomorrow or tonight, depending on how late you want to stay up and play it, which it is now spring break, so I could stay up late if I wanted to.
I could stay up late and I always fall asleep because it's school, but now I'm going to stay up all night.
Okay.
Can I try?
You can try, but she never makes it.
No, last time I made it. Remember? Whenever it was like a Zoom day, and I just stayed up all night.
She didn't make it.
Yes, I did.
Okay, anyways.
I fell asleep a couple of times, but I smacked myself.
Yeah, but it's been speculated that there's going to be a DC collaboration for season 5. There was a collaboration with Marvel, and in the past, they sold DC skins, like, they had a bundle where it was Joker, Poison Ivy. They've sold both versions of Harley Quinn. Okay.
What?
Like Suicide Squad version of Harley Quinn, and then the Harley Quinn movie, the Emancipation of Harley Quinn movie skin, and a few Jokers, I think, and Batman. So they've sold those skins. So it would make sense for them to have a DC collaboration, but it's not set in stone and it's not 100%. So we'll see tomorrow. Maybe I'll stay up late enough and find out. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But I am going to get on Twitch and stream Fortnite because I want to get as many quests done as I possibly can by tonight before the new season. And it erases everything and I have to start all over again.
If she doesn't, I will force her. And can I tell you something?
Sure, go for it.
Feel my hands. They're so smooth. I just got out of the shower and they're so smooth.
Did you put lotion on?
No.
Or did you use my special soap/lotion stuff?
Nothing. They're just smooth.
That's what happens when you get so fresh and so clean.
Can I have your phone?
Yes.
I don't want it to ding.
Okay.
So if you guys hear something in the background, I'm going to watch TV while I play a game. In the living room.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
did you feed the fish?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So this episode is about season 1 of the Umbrella Academy. I've actually recorded this episode once already, and the whole thing screwed up, so I'm having to start all over again. So I'm having to say this all over again. But according to IMDb, the Umbrella Academy is about, on the same day in October 1989. Hold on, I gotta breathe for a second. 43 infants are unexpectedly born to random, unconnected women who showed no signs of pregnancy the day before. 7 are adopted by Sir Reginald, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Hargreaves. I said it right the first time I did this. He's a billionaire industrialist who creates the Umbrella Academy and prepares his quote-unquote children to save the world. But not everything went according to plan. In their teenage years, the family fractured and the team disbanded. Now almost 30 years old, the 6 surviving members reunite upon the news of Hargreaves' passing, and Luther, Diego, Allison, Klaus, Vanya, and number 5 work together to solve a mystery surrounding their father's death. But the estranged family once again begin to come apart due to their divergent personalities and abilities. Yes, Kitty? Not to mention the imminent threat of a global apocalypse. So the first episode starts off with a girl, and she's jumping in a pool. She looks normal. She swims a lap, and by the time she's at the end of the pool, she is now 9 months pregnant and giving birth. And what stood out to me for this was, it shows her, like, pushing and having a baby, and we all know how women have babies, obviously. But she has a she's pushing and having the baby, and then, she has the baby, and they hand her the baby, but she still has her bathing suit on. So, yeah, could you have at least made it a little real? And it's not a 2-piece. It's like a 1-piece, sports type bathing suit. So it's kind of obviously she's not going to have enough time to, rip off her bathing suit and deliver a baby, but I don't know. They could have done something to make it look like she didn't just give birth with a bathing suit on. But, so Sir Hargreaves, Reginald, there we go. It popped in my head. Sir Reginald buys 7 of these babies that were born on the same day because they all possessed powers. He bought them from these women who just boom, pregnant. Imagine X-Men, Professor X, but not being a loving father figure, more like he's cold and, this is what you're supposed to do, just do it. He has absolutely no feelings towards the children at all, towards the kids. He wants to raise the kids as a team of superheroes. And he admits that he's like, I'm not going to get attached to these kids, and, even though I'm going to raise them their whole lives, I'm not going to, no attachment. He's so in his ways about this that he doesn't even name the kids. He gives them numbers. So, I'm about to dive into the numbers, dive into the actors who play them, and dive into their superpowers. So without any spoilers, just in case for those who, want to watch it, this is their first time hearing about it, and they're like, oh, that actually sounds like a cool show, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do no spoilers, because there are some plot twists and some like, what? I didn't see that coming, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody. If I get a good enough feedback from this, or enough feedback from people who are like, do a spoilers episode, I totally will. It's just up to you guys on what you want me to do, and all that fun stuff. So without any spoilers, here we go. So we have Elliot Page, who, she has been in shows like Juno, Inception, X-Men, Days of Future Past, and she plays Vanya Hargraves. She does not have abilities and is treated like the redheaded stepchild. He is like totally cold to her. She's very smart and becomes an amazing violin player. And it's like no matter what she does everything she can to get his approval. But he just ignores her and just treats her like really bad and dismisses her. So that's where her deep-rooted daddy issues come from. And the main theme of this whole show is they all have daddy issues. So we have number 1, who the actor is Tom Hopper, who plays Luther. And he starts off with him living on the moon as an adult. He's living on the moon. He's at a space station. He reports back to the father about anything that might be weird, anything that he sees going on weird with Earth and the moon, and just is always reporting back to his father and sending him like space logs, I guess you could say. He somehow comes back down and goes to his father's funeral, and you discover he's more like a werewolf type of deal. He has super strength. Imagine like if the Hulk had a mini-me, and instead of being green, he's really hairy, so that's why I say a werewolf type deal. So that's what Luther and number 1 has. So number 2 is David Castaneda. He plays Diego. He has trajectory manipulation. He usually throws knives, and he makes like a good assassin because he can like throw them and manipulate them and all that crazy stuff. So that's number 2. Number 3, the actress is Emmy Raven Lampman. I think I said that right. Who plays Allison. And her powers is she can manipulate people. She has mind control. She makes them do things they don't want to do, and what she does is she like whispers to them, or she says like, I heard a rumor, and then she inserts what she wants them to do, and then they go do it. So it was like, I heard a rumor you brushed your teeth. They go brush their teeth. I heard a rumor that you locked yourself in a room while I rob you. They go lock themselves in the room. So she also kind of used those powers to get what she wants, and she kind of gets crap for it from everybody, like, because in the show she's a famous actress, so they're like, you wouldn't even be one if you didn't have your special powers. So they kind of like treat her like that. We have number 4, who is Robert Sheehan. He is a British actor. He was on this British TV show called Misfits. It is one of my favorite shows. In that show, he has superpowers in that show as well, but it's just really funny. It's like a British version of X-Men, I guess you could say, but they're all these kids who are just complete misfits, and he's just hilarious in that show. Very outspoken, very funny. And In this show, he plays Klaus. He is one of my favorites as well. I mean, yeah, in this show, he's one of my favorites. He can talk to dead people. He talks to the dead. And at first you're like, well, that seems lame. Like, how can you use that in, like, fighting crime and superhero style? Like, he makes it work. Like, he makes talking to the dead seem cool. His personality in the show is hilarious. He's funny. He's just one of my favorites. Then you have number 5, Aidan Gallagher, who he actually doesn't go by a name. He goes by number 5. He's, like, so proud of what he is and everything that he has to do that he's like, heck yeah, I'll wear that number 5 with pride. And his powers are space-time manipulation. He can travel through time and teleport items without touching them. He is, like, my favorite. He's, like, my number 1 favorite. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but he just, like, again, this show is such an awesome show because I have the hiccups and I'm trying really hard not to. This show, it's really funny. Like, just the humor is what makes it. And it's also just fun. Like, there's this whole dance scene that's really funny. And number 5 is more in your face. He's heartless compared to the others. It's not that he's heartless. It's just that he loves what he is and he loves his powers and he loves that he can do all these awesome things. And like I said, I don't want to give away spoilers about him. But he's just like, pretty much is like, oh, I wish the rest of them would stop whining and just get over it and just, like, embrace what they are. And he's just, like, just over it. Like, he's just over all of them. Then we have Justin Hin, who plays Ben. What is happening? Oh. He plays Ben, and he can summon this tentacled monster-looking thing. And him and Klaus end up being like a team. So for season 1, it's about the passing of their father, causing them to come back together as adults. They all have these daddy issues. They all went their separate ways growing up into from being in a crappy environment. And basically was just being used as puppets by their father compared to having a childhood, and they just all wanted away from it. So they all went their separate ways, and they discovered that there's more to their father's death than what it seems. And his father also leaves a bunch of clues that there's going to be, like, an apocalypse. And so not only are they trying to piece together their dad's death, but they're also trying to piece together the apocalypse. Like I said earlier, if you guys want me to do a spoiler episode, I will be more than happy to go more into depth about it and talk about the spoilers. If I don't get anything about it, then I'll just do another episode about season 2 and try and not have any spoilers with season 2. So, yeah. If you like my podcast, like, subscribe, follow. If you'd like to leave me a virtual tip in my tip jar, you can on my Ko-fi page. You can click on that Willow link and it'll lead you to it. In my last podcast, I encourage you to help a fellow podcaster out. His podcast is on, it's called On Second Watch. And his goal was to reach $1,000 by Mario Day, which was March 10th, because it looked like Mario. And he's going to buy Nintendo Switches, games, activities, for a children's hospital. And on his Ko-fi page, he lists, like, all the things that's on the it's on the shopping list that they're going to go buy and take to this children's hospital. He was able to reach $921. So it was so close and so amazing. If he does it again, I'll definitely push to have you guys donate to him again. I kind of want to do the same thing, but I want it leading up to May 1st, which is Star Wars Day. And the money that I get for that, I will be sending to 51st Legion. I'll leave information about Hold on. She's doing it again. Ma. Come here. She comes over and meows to me, like, pick me up. And then she just sits here, like, oh, no, she wants to get into the trash. And okay, anyways, I'll leave information about 51st Legion. I'm not going to get into it right now because I'm just going to get more into about it on when I do talk about my plans for May 1st. With that being said, I also want guests on my show. So if you want to be on my show and talk about a certain topic, get at me. If you want me to interview you, get at me. If you want to interview me, get at me. My email is chanel@nerdintexas.com. So just shoot me an email and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. I haven't figured out how to yet. I have a list of people who want to already, and the number one person on my list right now is Kevin, because he has been such a huge, like, supporter and such a huge, like, I can't even explain it, how much he's helped me. He is, like, my podcast manager. If there's something that I do, if there's a picture, if there's a TikTok, if there's anything that, like, I'm insecure about, and I'm like, oh, do I post this? Do I want to? And he encourages me to, like, just do it. Him and Cassie. I love Cassie, his daughter. She's so cute and adorable and beautiful and just has the most biggest heart ever. And I love them both. So it would be cool to do that. It would be cool to have, like, Cassie and Bailey, me, and Kevin, if he wants to do, like, an anime one. In my household right now, it is spring break. We don't have school for a whole week. So you might be hearing from me for, a lot. Or you might not. Depends on if I want to get these other projects done. My mind has just been all over the place, especially today. I don't know if it's because I'm, like, exhausted from the tournament, but this is how bad my mind is, right? I am halfway taking off an old shower curtain in my bathroom, and I halfway have the new shower curtain on, and it's just like that. Half old shower curtain, half new shower curtain, and then I'm like, squirrel, and find another project, or like, squirrel, I need to do my podcast. Squirrel, man, I wanted to do a YouTube video. So, it's mainly just like, my anxiety has been through the roof. My depression is definitely really loud. Like I said earlier, I didn't even want to get out of bed. Because I kind of had something crappy happen this weekend. But other than that, everything's good, and I hope everyone has a great week. I hope everyone has a great spring break. That's if you're here in Texas. And, yeah, you're going to hear from me a lot this week, or you're not. And peace, love, and everything nerdy. I can't even tell you how thankful I am for all of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you. Just, like, you have no idea how thankful I am of all of you. And I wish I could give you all big warm hugs. So, yeah. Oh, and I'm going to be getting keychains pretty soon. So instead of being able to give you a big warm hug, I'll be able to send you a keychain. Keychains for everybody. You get a keychain. You get a keychain. So, look for that. And have a great week. Bye.